Hello, welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Mark with the Mic.
What is up? What is up?
Yo, this is our podcast about anything and everything pop culture and the world. So,
Yeah.
I know I'm like 3 months late, but I just got on that Spider-Verse train. What up,
More than
dog?
3 months. That came out in December.
Oh, damn, dude.
That
Shit.
was like Christmas time.
I was late for the DVD release.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, the Blu-ray release. Well, you
Yeah.
know what it is. I was late to the party, y'all.
I'm glad you saw it because it was an amazing movie.
Yes. We can get deeper into that movie, but I know you saw the newest Spider-Man movie.
Oh man. So I'm a huge Spider-Man person. Like I've been a Spider-Man fan since that was my first comic my mom ever bought me.
Mhm.
So that was the character that I used to love, and that's the character I could relate to.
Do you remember
like
which one it was?
My first comic of Spider-Man was during the Venom saga.
Okay.
It was one of the parts, and I was like, "How you gonna get me a continuation part? I don't know what's gonna happen."
Damn.
So my mom ended up getting me the whole saga because I read the first issue so many damn times, and I wanted to know what happened. I was like, "Okay, I need the other issues because I don't know what's going on."
See,
So
the cool part about it really is that you were around at the time when it was coming out, so you could get them. You know what I mean? Because I know if you were trying to do that now, you would be like, nah, just get that shit online, dog.
oh yeah, like my original copy of Spider-Man 2, was it 200?
Oh, you mean like
the first appearance of Venom?
Okay, yeah.
I think it was 200.
No, I think it's 300.
300. Yeah, I have that. I had that. Like we got that off the newsstand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I have that, and I have it still mint condition. Mine's pretty mint condition, and that was my original copy. I didn't pay more than $3 for
cover price. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I had the whole Venom saga, and that's where I started, and that's where I think that's the reason why Venom has a little. I have a little closeness with Venom too, because that was the first villain I seen in Amazing Spider-Man.
Did you? I don't remember because we did talk about it. But were you a fan of the Venom?
The movie?
Recently? Yes.
I liked the movie. I thought the movie was actually pretty good. I think they did the character well.
Okay, I was about to ask you, like, yeah,
as Eddie Brock,
yeah.
As Eddie Brock in Venom, I thought they did the character very well.
Okay. Gotcha.
I had little complaints about it, but I kind of I kind of wish they introduced the Spider-Man world into Venom first.
True.
So I feel like it should have came out. They should have introduced it first before, or at least introduce a symbiote or some shit like that before they created Venom.
I got you. I see it. I could definitely see that because they could tie that to some of the space stuff happening in the main movies.
Yeah.
But that said, since you have that really strong affinity for Spider-Man, like, how did this movie hit you? Because I know you said you loved the last one.
This one was, I think, honestly, out of every single movie of Spider-Man, this has to be my favorite one.
Gotcha. So that is even counting the old school one.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job in balancing the story between Peter Parker, the aftermath of Endgame. So if you have not watched Endgame, you must watch Endgame before you see this movie.
I think everybody and their grandma knows what happened, but I'm not going to spoil that here.
Yeah, you need to watch Endgame before you see this movie. If you have not watched Endgame, it fucks up that whole movie for you. You really need to see it. You really need to see, and you really need to see. It even shows you where Spider-Man is going to go after this. Like, gotcha. You could tell through this movie that Spider-Man is going to be a focal point of the new MCU.
Okay, good stuff.
But I truly love this movie. Like, I loved everything. There was not one complaint I had about this movie. I loved the balancing. I loved I love how it flowed. It did not feel like a 2.5 hour movie. It felt like a little shorter than honestly, it ends and you just like, that's it.
Well,
that's how I felt. It was like, it was such a good movie. Mysterio was such a good character. I think they portrayed him perfectly. Out of every movie, they always have like a little thing or two that they can't really do of their origin, but Mysterio was perfect. Like, the way they did him was perfect, and how they built to him and everything was fucking perfect.
I'm not familiar with his.
So if you watch watch the Spider-Man animated series. That's the best way you can see the actual origin of Spider-Man, of Mysterio. Okay. If you ever watched the first episode of Mysterio, it kind of gives you a gist of what Mysterio is.
And so that's basically extremely accurate to just the representation. He's
Yeah.
the failed magician or what have you, or
No, he was
special
a
effects
special
guy,
effects.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So, and what how they did it and how they connected to the MCU was genius.
gotcha. Okay.
And like they did a really good job of just connecting everything together. They did a good job with the aftermath of Endgame. They did a really good job of just making you feel what Peter Parker was feeling during the time,
Mhm.
and how much the loss of somebody to him and things like
Also, no,
that.
but also does
Yeah,
now do you know the specifics of this movie, like the directors or anything? Like, because I'm asking because this is the second one and it seems to be getting great reviews, but it seems to be like there's a certain style of, I guess, it's directing and the combination of the acting from the people, but like
yeah.
who's responsible for this new style of movie where it's like
Well,
getting all these little things right?
he did Homecoming too. His name is John Watts.
And so that's what I mean. So who's he like, and what is his? Do you know of like his big deal? Like what got him here,
I'm checking right now.
or his movies or anything? Like, have you seen a John? Say his name, John Watts. You said
Yeah, John Watts. That's the director for
like I
Homecoming.
don't like that name doesn't ring a bell. Like he does not a because again I'm not too familiar with what's super popular with any movie wise and whatnot right now. Like besides the comic stuff, so I don't
They
know.
No, he doesn't really have much of a directing background in
Really,
this thing. He was a side director and he helped direct certain movies, but he
really.
was not like credited for anything like big.
Is so what you're telling me is Homecoming was his first
Yeah,
big deal?
yeah.
Wow.
He did a movie called The Clown, which was a horror movie with Eli Roth. He did one called Cop Car, which was another one.
Got you.
It was
Got you.
thriller, but nothing really mainstream. This was his first really big mainstream movie.
Wow. So damn, he knocked them out of the park
Yeah,
twice in a row.
and then he also had like a big help with what Kevin Feige wanted to do, and honestly, like that, like the fact that he had like Disney's all 100% Disney's help with the movie, and also Sony 100% backing him and things like that. I think it was a great thing that they did that because they did so many great things in adding Spider-Man into the MCU that like the little things actually really helped. Like the first one when Vulture was scavenging the alien hardware and selling it, that made perfect sense. They were like they were like just they were helping like cleaning the scraps of the alien war and shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they made perfect sense of everything. And
As somebody just whoever like again, I think it's amazing for this person who just came out of nowhere, but like you said, with the support, but
yeah,
the fact that they're keeping the continuity so tight
and
still.
also John Favreau was a big hand in getting him as a director.
Like he requested them or something?
He's the one that recommended him to direct.
Really?
And
Oh,
that's where and John Favreau is considered
he
as a
knows how to
producer
do
as
it.
well,
He knows how to do the thing, the damn thing.
and he's Happy Hogan in the movie as well. So
He's
he's
still
a
here.
character. He's a producer as well.
Yeah, he's still there. Okay.
So you have a lot of good things, and he has Lion King coming up right around the corner too. And I actually trust him in that movie as well because he understands the fan aspect of things, and he's actually really trying his best to portray it as well.
And his style of movies always involves delving into the personal lives of the main characters as
Yeah.
well. If you watched any of his non like blockbuster movies, that's
Yeah.
also a thing.
And the
So,
coolest thing that I just noticed, like the things that they tie in MCU, all had to do with his Iron Man movies,
well, how about that?
which I just
Keeps
thought
that
about it now than
keeps it in the
anything.
family. Yeah,
Yeah, his Iron Man movies, and then the Civil War movie that they connected to.
that's really good.
So
Really
yeah, definitely go watch Far From Home. It's probably to me right now, it is my favorite Spider-Man movie. Besides Spider-Verse, Spider-Verse is up there as well because what they did with that was very amazing too. So I really love this movie. I loved everything about it. I love that it was a like Tom Holland really like shined in this movie. Like it was really a Peter Parker movie in that sense, and just what he was dealing with, and you really felt him. And then just the costumes were dope. The how they did Mysterio was fucking fantastic. Like there's not much more I could say about what they did with Mysterio because Mysterio is a very underrated villain.
good.
He's a funny looking villain, but to really capture the aspect of what Mysterio was in the Spider-Man verse. Like he was ahead of his time. What he did as a character, he's ahead of his time because he's using a lot of technology in his villainy.
I get it.
Yeah, he like in his
It
back.
probably wasn't
Yeah,
thought out back
yeah,
then as technical as it is today because
yeah,
we're so much closer to being able to do that stuff.
yeah.
Or like, you know,
Like I
to
could
be
see. Oh,
to
go
be
ahead.
real about it, a Mysterio can exist in today's world, just not outside of a computer.
Yeah,
But if you think about how much damage you can do nowadays
yeah.
on the internet and have the believability with all the technology at your disposal, that yeah, you could make some really convincing shit happen.
The thing about like the Mysterio, like honestly, this was a character that I know Sam Raimi wanted to do, and
Oh, okay.
I think the character wouldn't have been portrayed the way it was in this
Oh,
movie.
you sound a little muffled. You too.
Oh, I don't think it would have been portrayed as good as this one.
I mean, it again, but it's also a different style of
No,
director too, just
I
like the
feel
way we
no.
look
I
at it.
just feel like the technology now fit it perfectly.
No, I know what
As
you
in,
mean.
yeah,
I know what you mean.
as
But
in it would have.
again,
I think it would have been harder to capture what they did in this movie in the past movie just by technology alone.
yeah. But I think the thing you might get lost in like is that it doesn't have to be that thing because for me, one of my favorite portrayals of the character is the silly ass one on the cartoon,
Yeah,
and that didn't have today's technology. It was a silly ass cartoon. So if you're given something, you'll make something. It just wouldn't be as cool. I
yeah,
get it
yeah,
because of the lack of technology, but it's not to say it wouldn't be its own uniquely
yeah.
dope thing.
Like I think Sam Raimi would have had captured it good. Just the fact that he was better with the Golden Age characters and he
Yeah,
hated the new characters.
I get
So
it.
reason why you got Venom the way you got Venom is the fact that he hated the character. He didn't want it in this movie.
I
He
agree.
had to add it because of Sony.
I understand.
And it was kind of forced upon. Like, but every other character he did was pretty solid besides the costume.
Yeah. I mean, see, you saying that makes me really, thirsty for this new universe's portrayal of Doc Ock.
Me too.
And I wonder if they're going to use the female one
I'm
because,
you know
that kind of bleeds into what we were talking about where I said I saw Spider-Verse and she's there. She's the
yeah.
one from a different universe. I get that. But you know how it's a version that exists. And in today's climate, it's like, wait, why not?
I could. You know what? I could see. You know what? I could see Green Goblin being a female.
Well, is Green Goblin at all established in this new
No,
universe? Okay.
Norman Osborn is not he's not mentioned, but he oh man. So it's a different character though. It was on Flash Thompson and not Harry Osborn.
As
But
in, oh, I
like
see.
so he's the rich kid. He's the one that's a flashy kid and
So
like that.
already they've changed, like they've given different properties to different characters.
Yeah, I actually feel like Flash Thompson might be the Harry Osborn of this universe.
Okay, so his mother or something might
And
end
his mother is the one that's doing the shit that Norman Osborn did to
would be doing. I
Harry
understand.
Osborn, like
I
not showing
understand.
up for certain things, didn't want to pick him up and things like that, ignoring the kid.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I have a feeling that Green Goblin it could be portrayed as a female and not.
That
I
would be very
now
interesting.
that I'm thinking about it, it really makes sense now.
I mean, like the way they're building this universe, I guess it would. Yeah.
And again, as long as I don't care, as long as you make a good character and you make a good story, and I have 100% into this story already, and that you will do it good, I'm 100% behind this. I really am. It looks like it's something that I want to see.
Okay. Good stuff, man.
But yeah, it is something that like I think I'm very confident in what they could do with this movie. So I'm 100% behind it. But like the whole thing, you just talking about it, and I'm trying to think about a character they trying to kind of portray to Harry Osborn was Flash Thompson.
Hmm.
Flash Thompson is not this jock or anything like that. He's
Yeah.
a very like viral kid that wants to be cool and he does things like that, and he has the very characteristics of Harry Osborn than Flash Thompson.
Wow. And do they delve more into him in this movie?
Very little, but that was the one scene that
Okay.
I
Okay.
really noticed was
Yeah.
he had a driver come pick him up, And you're like, "Oh,
They were
mom,"
establishing
and then
this.
he said, "Mom can't make it." Like, no, she was busy.
I got yeah, it was,
And
yeah, they laying the groundwork. Okay.
that just that yo, you just busted my mind into that scene, and I'm like, wow, Green Goblin could be the woman.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I could see them like mixing it because there's all like male dominant villains and shit like that, and you have Vulture already. You have Mysterio, which is a male villain, and things like that. So you again, I could see them adding a female as a main villain as well, and yeah, it'd be interesting what they do with it.
Yeah. This is true. Also, not even just that. I could, in your mind, since we're on the subject, do you have any female villains that exist already in Spider-Man's Rose Gallery?
Black Cat.
No, I mean, I don't really count her. I mean,
Well, she
yes, I
started as a
know,
villain. She
I know,
was
I
a
get
villain, and then she
she's
not being trained. But
she's like
like
a straight up
Black Cat,
straight up
um,
jewel thief. But I remember, but like besides her, because I'm sure they really want to take a crack at her, and because of the whole frenemy thing between those two, I
yeah.
don't want to count her. But like, does Spider-Man have a like a real just a nasty?
As his female villains, no, he doesn't really have one.
No, wow,
No, he had like the female Doc Ock in the well, Ben Rally had this female Doc
different
Ock.
character. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ben Rally had this female Doc Ock, um, and then also 2099 had it the same one. Had it the female one as well. You had Menace, which was a female character, which was in this guy's Dan Slott's Spider Man.
Okay, is that a newer like a newer? Or
Yeah, it was
return?
more. It was a newer one. It was Harry Osborn's girl that found the Goblin serum, and she
Oh,
did
okay.
it to herself. So
Hmm.
she was a pregnant Green Goblin.
Wow. So that means the baby was gonna be a
Yep,
baby goblin.
she had a Goblin baby.
Wow. Did it look like a little green like goblin man?
Yeah. No,
That's
no,
messed up.
well, it was a regular. It ended up being a regular kid, but
Okay.
I think it has the Goblin powers.
Oh yeah, I got you. So he's like a Dampier.
Yeah.
He's got the strength and stuff of a vampire, but he's just a normal
Yeah.
looking dude. No
And
fangs.
then yeah, like I don't think the Lady Octopus, Centaura, which I don't think will be a character they will bring in
Mm-hmm.
because she's kind of like a more of a mystic character, so you kind of have to go more into a mystic element, and right now they're not doing that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, Silver Sable could be something.
This is true. But she also falls into the frenemy thing.
Yeah. So Menace is a brand new character I could see them really doing, and the fact that yeah, I could really see Menace.
Like I'm trying to think of the bad villains. There was like one female that wasn't really a major character. Well, she wasn't. Remember Shriek? But
Yeah,
she
Shriek.
ended up really being a side character because she was
Yeah.
carrying in the rest of them.
But then she's also going in the category that she wasn't much of a character,
That's the other thing.
and
Yeah.
that you had Screwball, which could be interesting, and she was also in the new Spider-Man game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and she's kind of like a speedster-ish with
Oh, that's that
social
character.
media
Okay, I
and
know you're
stuff like
talking about.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I could see her being like a minor villain in a movie, but not like a main villain.
Yeah. It's just, I think you're probably closest to what they. If they're not doing it, they probably should do, just because that is a thing that Spider-Man does not have.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about that. Yeah.
yeah. Spider like Black Cat will be something, but then again, they had to kind of make her bad before they make her good.
Yeah, this is true. This is
I,
true.
I,
Well,
I
you and I both know they're
yeah,
always gonna go with the Jewel Thief or whatever the equivalent in
yeah,
2019 would be, or
yeah.
today's era. She's
Hmm.
stealing. She's breaking into AT&Ts and stealing iPhones.
Yeah,
Listen, they cost like what, $2,000.
yeah,
That damn Samsung flip open phone is supposed to be like 3,000. That's
yeah.
pretty much a low grade diamond. I'm just saying.
And then I could also see, like, if they do the female goblin, I could also see it being the Hobgoblin, not Green Goblin.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because I think they're looking to bring villains that hasn't been in the movies.
Demi-Goblin. There you go.
So I think that's something that they're trying to do.
Demo-Goblin and Doppelganger. Bam.
Menace. Menace
This
is
is true.
Goblin as well.
This is true.
So
Didn't they make Doppelganger a female at one point?
no, it wasn't a female.
It wasn't a female.
Nope.
Like later on. I don't mean originally. I could have swore they just slapped a pair of breasts on a doppelganger.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Far From Home is an amazing movie. Definitely go see it. I don't want to keep going into it and spoil it, so I want people to see it. So
Yeah,
it's
do
it's hard to describe things without spoiling it. So I'm trying my best not to. But it was an amazing movie. Also, there's one on Netflix that you can watch now, which is Spider Verse, which came out December of last year and was probably one of the best animated movies I've seen in a long time.
yeah, it was really up there for me. Like I remember the style was a thing that would be the controversy or extreme love, and I was just like, no, man, I don't love it, I don't hate it, but I appreciate it on a level that's like I want that to just be its own thing.
Yeah,
Like that style, and that's what I was telling you earlier. I was like, I wish there was an animated series that took that style and like gave
yeah,
each of the characters uh and this is the idea I had was like go ahead and don't prolong it, don't drag it out, give each of the I think it was like 7 or 6 characters, give them
yeah.
each a 6 episode miniseries in that style. I think that would be super cool.
Well, Disney Plus, get on it.
Get on it, do it. And like I'm excited for the sequel and the spin-off you said, so
Yeah,
that's a cool thing. But like it was just really like refreshing almost.
yeah,
And I just like how they did everything. Like I'm not super versed on Miles' backstory.
yeah,
Like again, one of the things about him is he falls into the category for me in when it comes to Spider-Man and a lot of the characters that wear a suit in Spider-Man.
yeah,
Most of the time, I don't know who the hell they are. I just like their suit.
yeah.
If it's not Peter Parker in that suit, I probably don't know who they are.
Okay.
Because I don't read as often as I used to, the books as often as I used to. So I know for a fact that the costumes changed rapidly, and I know to expect in Marvel that it may not always be Peter Parker.
Yeah,
So when I saw that suit, I had I didn't know who it was. I thought it was, oh, was that the new Ultimate Spider-Man? And
yeah,
I guess kind of turned into that.
yeah,
But I thought that was just the suit for the character Ultimate Spider-Man, having no knowledge of Miles. Then I heard Miles was the character that he was the like them trying to make this universe have its own version of Spider-Man, which I thought was
yeah,
like, oh, that's cool when you do that. You have the original and then you have another universe and you could play with it. And so I thought that was cool. But I like if you've never seen an issue of his comic book and you watch this movie, you just basically like would fall in love with the character anyway.
yeah,
It was done so well. It was so personal. Again, this is one of the touches of really the Marvel movies in general, but not so much the team up ones.
yeah,
But in everybody's solo series, Iron Man, Thor, now Spider-Man, like they get super personal
yeah,
and they teach you so much in like the movie's length of time. And it's like that's a cool thing that happens in this movie as well. And it really makes you get attached to the main character.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. I have a reason to care about what happens to him. I have a reason to care about his family, his friends and whatnot. It is really, really cool. And
And
each of the side Spider-Men that show up, dope.
yeah,
They really do a very good job of getting as personal as they can because it's not that long of a movie. It's 2 hours.
yeah,
It's 2 hours. It's not that long of a movie. It's more than standard length, yes, but
yeah,
that's a long ass ending credit sequence. I think that eats up about 15 minutes.
yeah.
Not gonna lie. But like
Um,
it's
yeah.
really, really good, man.
It was an amazing movie. I remember going seeing it the first time, and yo, I had the feels for that movie. Like that shit
Mm-hmm.
really hit my chest, and like there's a lot of things that I just saw and was mesmerized by it. Like you go into the beginning of the movie and you actually see the actual Spider-Man, that his world Spider-Man. So they kind of mixed Ultimate Spider-Man's storyline
Okay.
and how Spider-Man did die
Okay.
and he was the one that became Spider-Man afterwards. Like there was another test of the subjects of the spider bites and shit, and he
Mm-hmm.
was one of them.
So how close to that is it? Because I don't know what happened. I do
Yeah,
know he died, but
the
I
only
don't know
difference
what.
is it wasn't a grown Spider-Man. It was Ultimate Spider-Man that died.
No, no, but I mean, so was it the same way? Like the Kingpin kill him, or was it like
No, it was Green
somebody else?
Goblin. He was trying to Spider-Man like saved his he saved everybody. And they were fighting like in front of his house and shit.
Oh,
And
okay.
he pretty much sacrificed his life to save everybody, and he got his neck broke. Like
Oh, was it like Mortal Kombat? Liu Kang's brother broke. Like
yeah, got
it
Green
was
Goblin like
so
snapped his
his
neck.
spine.
Yeah,
Wow.
but he took Green Goblin with him, and it was
How
the whole. They both had each other in a way, and
they killed each other?
yeah,
Jesus. All right. Well, Spider-Man killed somebody before he died. Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta put that on his tombstone.
But he had to do it before, like he did it to save everybody. So in this one, it was just a big thing that was going on, and it was a big like a mixture of Kingpin and a bunch of villains. I think it was Green Goblin as well, and they were
See,
fighting their main Spider-Man, which kind of I think Chris Pine talked him.
oh, that was the voice for
Yeah,
he
Chris
was
Pine
the
talked
original
him. Yeah, Chris Pine talked him, and if you actually saw when he did take out his mask, it was pretty much Ben Riley,
one.
and I that's a
But
little touch they did that I loved.
but here's the thing that because you have your one like inconsistency, that was an inconsistency because the tombstone didn't say Ben Riley.
No, well, I just saw like the face. I think they did Easter egg the face just to
No, no,
be like that.
I know.
Yeah,
It was a little like if you know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And also I like when the first Spider-Man that shows up, well, technically the second, because Gwen was already there. But when the Spider-Man sweatpants Spider-Man shows
yeah,
up, he says, "Oh, look at him. He's blonde and he's young and he's perfect." And I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh, that's pretty funny."
yeah,
So yeah, but there's just like so much personality in every single character that they basically introduce. Even the villains.
yeah.
You get the Kingpin's personality, even though it's kind of one note, but you do get the hints of his motivations,
Yeah.
and then you go, well, knowing the Kingpin character, this is 100% accurate to something the Kingpin would do if he could do it. You know,
His animation was fucking retarded.
I love it. I love it. It's just like,
Yeah,
you know what? The way he's always depicted in books as being such a strong individual. It was just
yeah,
like, why don't just make him a block?
yeah. That's
Block.
that shit was
He's gonna
funny.
be big and strong because he's big and strong. Just make him a damn cinder block, man. I'll take that. You know
Yeah.
what?
So there was a lot of things in this movie. Miles was such a great character in this movie, and I loved his little shyness personality.
I fell in love with Doc Ock. Like that
Yeah,
was she had so much personality in the movie
yeah,
before they even revealed who she was.
yeah,
Like that's how good I'm saying. Like everything was so like every character was so good. Quinn was with him so well. You
yeah,
know what I mean? They did an awkward teenage love thing in a way that wasn't quote unquote ham fisted. It didn't
yeah.
make you cringe. You know what I mean? That the interaction between um Miles and his uncle,
I loved it,
that
and that
was
was that
super
was just,
cool.
that was right out the Ultimate Spider-Man book.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Because
his uncle was Prowler, and he was like when he found out his uncle was Prowler, they had a big fight, and like that was the person that he was the most closest to, and they
mm-hmm,
fucked everything up.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and like that entire interaction between him, off and
Yeah,
on, even when they introduced the Prowler, that's super cool. They
yeah,
made the Prowler look dope.
yeah.
As
He
a
looked,
character,
yeah.
he's one of those. He's kind of a golden age character. He's always one of those old generic ones.
He
Like the beat.
was well. He would be considered Silver Age because he was in the
Oh, really?
70s.
Oh, he's
70s.
only 70. I thought he was like old. Okay,
Nah,
okay.
he came out like late 70s, early 80s.
What about Beetle? Is he older than Prowler or no?
No, Beatles I think older than Prowler.
Okay, but he reminded me of that vein also because they had the same color scheme
Yeah, the
of
green and
purple.
purple. Yeah.
But it's just like just really corny. You know what I mean? Just really like that's the Saturday morning cartoon guy. Hey, I'm holding up a bank guy.
Well,
And then
funny note
imagine
with Prowler, real fast. Funny note with Prowler, that was the original design idea for Spawn.
as in like literally what he was drawn as was
Yeah,
what Spawn was supposed to look like.
it was the original design of Spawn. Like the idea came from that character.
So you would say that version in the movie was the more Spawn realized version, looked closer to what they wanted
Yeah,
because you could see it more. You could look at it and go, "Oh yeah, I see that."
yeah.
Gotcha. Because I remember like, did they? they lost the cape on the Prowler like a while ago. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, when he was introduced, I remember he had a cape, and then
yeah,
I remember when I guess when I was alive and I was able to see the comic book every once in a while. I do remember he didn't have a cape. I have a figure of him. Not
he had a
not
cape.
great.
He had a cape though. He had like
Yeah,
extending hands.
yes, he did.
He had
He
extended
did.
claws
He had
like
these.
Wolverine.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I am thinking of the Beetle. God damn it!
Yeah.
Stop thinking of the
Nah,
Beetle.
Prowler always had the cape.
Stop thinking of the
They
Beetle.
kind of cut the cape down in this movie, but he always kind of had a cape.
Well, he had a pretty Spawn ass cape in this one.
Yeah,
Now, because now that you mention it, it's like, damn, dude, that's 100. That's 1-to-1 almost. The mask, the
yeah,
cape, the chains on the wrist and stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
So, I mean, but again, kudos to whoever was behind this movie again for making just like everybody unique, but you gave a shit about everybody. I like the Scorpion. He was just speaking in Spanish the whole movie. I'm like, oh, like I don't know what like you said, that's an actual Scorpion from one of the other universes. I'm like, that's pretty damn cool that most everybody was from somewhere.
yeah. So if you actually look at the storyline, the Spider-Verse storyline, and that came out a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you'll recognize a lot of the characters because they actually did use a lot of the characters when they went to different worlds and stuff.
Gotcha.
So the Scorpion I recognize from that comic. Um,
Gotcha.
Doc Ock was kind of it's like they kind of mixed her with two characters. They kind of
Okay.
mixed her with the future Doc Ock, and they also kind of mixed her with this character that wound up being Octavius' daughter in the
Okay.
current during Ben Riley's run as Spider-Man. They kind of mixed those two together.
Gotcha. All right.
And then there's a lot of things that if you're diverse into Spider-Man, you know Spider-Man. Then there's a
Mhm.
lot of things that trigger bells for you, like oh shit, that's this, and like and
Yeah.
how they betraying it. I did like Alchemist, the fucking the lab was from
Yeah.
2099.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That was the one thing.
I was hoping to see a Miguel cameo. I'm just saying.
So, did you watch it all the way to the end?
I watched to the end of the movie, but
You didn't watch
I
the
fast
credits?
forward. No.
You gotta watch the credits.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back and do that. Gotcha.
I was the same way. I was like, "Yo, the only character that's really missing in this movie is Miguel because the Alchemist was it was the lad that created him and shit." So I was like, "Damn, why Mickey's not in this damn movie?" I'm a little mad about that.
Oh shit.
Just the fact that I knew he would have been perfect for the movie and his character and shit like that. But if you watch the end credits, you get Mickey.
Okay. All right. Now I got some
And
homework.
it's hilarious.
Okay. Good stuff.
It's
Good
hilarious.
stuff.
So, I really like the story of Miles Morales. I like the way they did everything. I liked his design. I liked the suit. I liked the suit with the sneakers and everything like that
Can
as
I ask
well.
you a question though? Is that the original way he made his suit, where he had a suit and spray painted it?
Not exactly.
Okay.
He kind of had like a Spider-Man-ish kind of suit when he first started. He kind of looked like Spider-Man actually.
Okay.
And then he went to his own color scheme, which was the black and red.
Do they ever show how he did the color scheme change? Like, because I'm being real here with a character like that that's not rich.
Yeah.
Like what does he do to get a different costume? Did he
Well,
just sit in his room and sew it like Spider-Man did?
kind of. Yeah, he kind of did exactly what Spider-Man did.
Or did he like just because I wonder because that was the reason I asked that is because that was a cool addition because of the way they made his character in the movie.
Yeah.
And the bond with his uncle.
Yeah.
And then the symbolism of that with the costume, like there's a lot of layers to that.
That was really cool. And then I like the fact that like his modernized Spider-Man was kind of like Tony Stark. He had like a whole fucking hideout.
Yeah.
And like Aunt May is the one that designed his costume and shit. I actually dug that.
A little bit of Superior Spider-Man in there.
Yeah.
Like a little bit. Just like, damn, this Peter thought way ahead.
Maybe that's something we get in the next movie.
Maybe. Oh, that'd be so cool.
See, this is one thing I love about the animated movie is the fact that there's a lot more you could get away with without having to do it live action.
Mm-hmm. And you know what I thought was really cool? When you mentioned that specific fact, the effect that they put on the characters of them feeling the things from the effect they were feeling from being in the universe too long, and the way they did, they literally did it in the movie. They glitched out, and it's just like that's really cool. I like that.
I really had like a personal love for the sweatpants Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like,
Who's his voice? The
um,
same
he,
one as the
he's a
original?
comedian.
Okay.
He was in the the cop movie with Damon Wayans' son.
I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Was it Franco? That's not. No, it can't be the same guy. Wasn't that James Franco's brother?
No,
No, it wasn't.
I'll tell you right now.
Because I'm trying to remember which.
He's Jake Johnson.
Oh, I got you. Okay, okay.
He was in American Pie movies. He's in New Girl. He was in Tag. He's in Jurassic World. Let's Be Cops. He was in that movie. He was in 21 Jump Street, the new one.
I got you.
Yeah, he does a lot of like side work. He does a lot of like side character stuff. He was in Get Him to the Greek. He was in Harold and Kumar.
Okay.
He was the best friend in Harold and Kumar, the next door neighbors that they saw and shit.
I have to go back and watch that. And
Yeah,
I never saw the second one. I
yeah.
have to watch that.
He's in a lot of movies, but he's the one that talked.
But no,
The,
now that I see who it is, I remember now. I do because I saw We Should Be Cops. That was a pretty
yeah,
funny movie.
he was Sweatpants Spider Man, but the fact that Sweatpants Spider Man was kind of suicidal, and
I guess that
like
that's the Spider-Man from like the comic book of
yeah,
the one where he, like wants to walk away.
yeah.
That's the instantly came to mind was like, oh, this is the one where he wants to quit.
I feel like this one was more the fact that he had nothing left to lose. Like he had nothing. So him going back to his universe was he had nothing because him and MJ were divorced. Yeah, he lost uncle, like he lost his uncle. I think Aunt May. He lost Aunt May as well. So he had nothing really to go back to, and I think that was the one key element they showed with him is the fact that he was fucking depressed. He was sad. He didn't have nothing, or he was scared to get everything. So he was willing to sacrifice his life for everyone
Him
else to have
face
their
down,
happiness. Yeah,
him sleeping face down on that futon was still hilarious.
yeah,
Classic
so
defeated pose
yeah,
and the cold pizza.
yeah. So
Oh my god.
that was like a characteristic of him that I just felt I felt really bad for him and shit. In that sense, is the fact that all these people are doing so good and building their lives and shit, and he lost everything. So he's like, why should I sacrifice your happiness for mine, kind of thing. So
But you know what?
but
You know what?
he went into that Peter Parker mode is the fact that I want you guys to live and I'll take the hit.
But I realized though from reading just multiple writers' takes on Spider-Man, I think that's the trait. He
Yeah,
goes through highs and Spider-Man goes through the lowest of lows, and they usually always show you
yeah,
both. And that's something I didn't think about it so much as this is his own this as basically an homage to every type of Spider-Man, not just the the character itself from
yeah,
this universe, that universe, but they also layered in all the different feelings and the different eras of Spider-Man as well. And like, yeah, that is true.
yeah.
Spider-Man's been on top of the world and he has been in the gutter.
Yeah, and I think that was one side that they really had to show because that was pretty much Peter Parker for most of my life that I know of. Is the one that's scratching for money and scratching for food and still being his best to save everyone, kind of thing.
Yeah, the one
That's the
that had to
side.
pay for web fluid
Yeah,
with photography pictures that they did in
exactly.
the Genesis game. I remember that.
Yeah, so those are the things that I remember, and those are the things that like I was really happy with that Spider Man. I did like the side Spider Man. Spider Man Ham was funny.
I still again Spider-Ham, the anime. What was her like spider name? Because
Uh, I don't know. I
I
know.
know she just had like a regular ass name, like
Yeah,
Penny. It was Penny,
yeah,
but like she didn't have like a spider name. Like her name wasn't like a tarantula or anything. But like
yeah,
Penny, Spider Ham, and Spider Man Noir, even though they had like the least bit of character development,
yeah,
you still what was there was still more than enough. You know what I'm saying? It just made it so good
yeah,
that that's again why I say to you, I would love to have even those three to have their own like six episode thing because I just want to see more in their world. You know,
yeah,
like that would be cool just because of how well they were written and voice acted. Like, damn,
yeah.
dude, it's real good.
No, I 100% agree. And again, we
It was
have
Nicolas Cage. If y'all don't remember, that was Nicolas Cage. He was
yeah,
in there. That
yeah.
movie.
Nicolas Cage was Noir.
So, hey guys. I love when they were talking about it. He was like, he's standing right there looking at him.
Yeah,
You see, because he was so tall, he was his character's head was over the other Spider-Man, and he was
yeah,
looking right at him. And I think that was like little touches like that. God, it's just there's so many. I don't know when they learned that, but I
yeah,
think maybe that might be an effect of having, to be in contact in that world, in that bubble of the new Marvel universe.
yeah,
When it comes to movies, of look at how they do it, and realize that people grasp onto the small details.
yeah,
And like this movie does it, the one you saw does it, the one before that does it. All of the Marvel movies currently since Iron Man have done that one thing: grasp details, small details, and like, damn, it works, dude.
yeah.
Really
And
works.
then, and then we also had like characters we never seen in the movie, like Tombstone.
Yeah,
Like
that's
he was
true.
in the movie, he was like a side character and things like that. So there's a lot of great things in this movie.
They had Hammerhead on the poster
Yeah,
of like the people that are aligned with Kingpin. Like there's a bunch of little touches. I told you, like, if you slow down the scene where Miles is visiting the grave,
yeah,
the tombstones have other people's names on them that
yeah,
are obviously involved in either the real life stuff involving Spider-Man, like writers and stuff, or I guess characters that might be dead.
yeah.
Like there's so many little touches. Also, damn, I didn't think about it, but when Sweatpants Spider-Man was being dragged around, I was just like, why is he not dead? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's Spider-Man. Like when his face was being dragged on the
Yeah,
floor on the concrete, I'm just like, why is he not dead? Yeah, that's right, he's Spider-Man.
yeah.
That
He,
suit is not made of anything. That's one thing I think most people reading Spider-Man comic books forget. His suit is literally just cloth.
yeah,
He's taking hits full on, like, and he's just wearing a freaking bathrobe, or not a bathrobe, but like a jumper.
yeah,
What do you call it? Oh no, it's a onesie.
yeah,
And just even that line was like, that was a little thing to hold on to. Damn, that movie was so good.
yeah. It was so good. Little notes, like I like to say, my little gripe with it, and I was explaining it to you earlier, before we started casting, was the whole Gwen Stacy. Like no one had a recollection of Gwen Stacy.
No universes, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that because that was one of the big deaths in Spider-Man's life was Gwen Stacy. Besides Uncle Ben, it was Gwen Stacy. That was like his secondary. That's the second big loss. That was the one that when Goblin threw her off the damn bridge and her neck snapped.
Yeah, that especially the way she died,
Yeah,
because he saved her, but he physics, dog.
yeah.
So
And that
yeah,
was also something that was his first love and things like that. So that was something that I was a little disappointed that it was not really mentioned. Well, at least she mentioned that Peter Parker was existing in her world. So at
and
least they had that part.
yes, they had that, and then like you said, that was considered like everybody's thing. Though the cool part of this, uh, again, this type of Marvel now
Yeah.
is literally we were not gonna throw away the origins.
No.
We're gonna hold on to them, and no matter how ridiculous they are, we'll keep them because they're ours.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the other things that just makes each individual character. If Spider-Gwen was your favorite character, if generic, regular mainline Peter Parker was your favorite character, if Miles was your favorite character, if you have an affinity for noir, you got authentic pieces of them in the movie.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we're just gonna take this character and slap it on them and just, hey kids, you want to go see it because we got Spider-Man. It's
Yeah.
like, no, each individual piece, like they have a story, they have a little bit of them that makes you like them. We appreciate that. We're not just gonna use it to get you in the seats. I
Yeah.
like that. That's what I like.
No, it was an amazing movie. Definitely everyone should watch it. It's on Netflix now.
It's on
So
Netflix, boy, and man,
so
yeah,
watch
I'm
it.
late
No
to the
excuse.
party.
And watch all the way to the end of the credits.
I got homework.
Watch all the way to the end credits because someone that we mentioned in this cast we wanted to see is in those end credits.
Yes.
And they also have a good voice actor for him, so definitely check him out. And yeah, because
Here's my only critique of the movie, and this is not even me not liking it. It's just me being who I am and the way I consume music.
yeah,
99% of the music had no effect on me
no,
because I don't know the artist.
okay,
And I don't listen to popular music. I just don't. So I only knew like the Biggie song.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's just like all this stuff. I know it's supposed to be, but like the move, like the part when he's like going through the street and whatnot, and they
yeah,
playing that song about like him trying, like him triumphing over like having finally mastered the abilities and
yeah,
stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's a powerful ass moment, but this music is just not doing it for me.
yeah. I like. I actually the soundtrack grew on me and how it went with the movie. So I
Mhm.
said the music was fine. Um, I think it fit the movie, like the way the style, the way
No,
they try to
I think
stylize it.
if you're younger and into that, whoever the artist is, it
Yeah,
will have more of an impact because you'll know the words to the song,
yeah,
you'll know the artist, you'll know, you know, how you have a personal connection to the artist, you'll know like, oh man, this song is about this and it's about overcoming this, and you like it'll hit you because you know it. And
yeah,
it's just when you don't know it, it doesn't hit me negatively. It's just
yeah.
like I'm not triggered by the nostalgia triggers aren't coming on,
That
you
makes
know.
sense. That makes sense.
So that's about the only thing that was like, "No, I don't know this."
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
overall, I would recommend it to anybody, adult, child. Watch it. It's real good. It's real good,
Yeah.
as Booker T would say. Real
Nah, it was
good.
really good. I I love the movie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to keep too long. Just want to throw out a few PSAs. This is a yearly one. I think it's been around since 2016. But I would also just like to put out there this post was on a Reset Era forum like maybe a year ago. I heard it brought up on Giant Bomb's podcast maybe about 3 to 4 months ago. If you're a retro collector and you have a bunch of old video game systems, if they have internal clocks and specifically an Xbox original, please take a YouTube tutorial and get yourself a set of screwdrivers, because you do want to get that the capacitors out for the clock, like the battery,
Yeah.
basically a battery for the clock. It will leak. I think there's no um, if, it just is a matter of time. So again, this is just like a PSA for collectors, and it's fairly recent, within the past 2 years. And I realize now this is gonna start happening more and more because those systems aren't that old,
Yeah.
quote unquote, but they are old.
They're like 20
So
years old.
like yeah, Xbox 2004, Xbox original. I think the life cycle ended 2004, because they said if it was manufactured in 2004
Okay.
is the only time the problem was fixed. So it might be the ones. I'm
Before it?
hoping the one I have. It's definitely the units before 2004, but let's say in production, I think ceased for a Xbox original in 2004, and those units are the ones where they fixed the problem.
Oh, okay.
So I think maybe like if you got lucky, like I didn't got one of those Halo green Xbox, the see-through ones, it might have
Hmm.
been made around that time, but it might have been before that, because I think that was Halo 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And Halo 2 is before 2004. So again, just an important thing. And I would like to bring it up because this personally happened to me. If you own a PlayStation Portable, a PSP, I have a Metal Gear. I want to get the name again. I think it was Peace Walker, the Peace Walker bundle,
Yeah.
which one of the last models of that system. Meaning, if you have an older one, it's time for you to check your PSP to see if the battery blew up in there. So check your batteries for your old systems. If you have a PSP, the battery may have, I don't know what the technical term is, but it basically like puffs up like a little like corn, basically.
Yeah.
What you don't want to see is it leaking battery acid. I think maybe because of the construction of the batteries for PSP and like portable system, that big black flat one,
Yeah.
they don't just explode and burst open for no reason. But they will expand the system. They could potentially break the hinge on the door. They could probably warp the plastic because it's literally all that pressure is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're a collector and you have these things, make sure you check your stuff, check your batteries, throw them away. No, not throw them away. Excuse me. Dispose of them properly.
Sometimes
So
you have to also like even like the old school like NES games, shit like that. You got to do that because
yeah,
they have the cell batteries in them.
those probably won't get At this point, they might still be around. That's the crazy thing about all of this. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was construction, but I think maybe it's just the type of batteries they use.
Yeah.
But I think you'll find it's not rare to actually find NES games, and for some reason they still have save files that work. It's so weird. It's super weird. I don't know why that is. I mean, like I said, that's it's just what they use.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, most cartridges, Super Nintendo, I guess Genesis as well. I'm not sure if anything like 64 era has that issue, because the later era 64 games did have like, things you could save in it. Because I remember the expansion pack came for like, no, you could always save data in a 64 game. It was just like to expand the graphics. But damn, you making me think about all the stuff I have to check now.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I have to check my No Mercy to see if all my characters are still there.
Yeah, that's important, especially if you did edits.
Yes.
Oh man, I gotta check my Virtual Pro Wrestling too.
Don't say that. God
damn. I reworked that whole game. I made current wrestlers. I made everything, and I put their English names on every single person.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was doing that for a while too. Before Wii U, when the Wii was still out, I still had my 64 around.
Yeah.
So, yes, that is a thing that unfortunately for collectors of old consoles, you got to be cognizant of it. And I'm learning that lesson now. Thankfully, stuff I have hasn't been destroyed by the batteries, which is good. But make sure you go out if you do have old stuff and old handhelds, check your batteries.
Yeah.
So
it's do it. PSA.
Yeah. RedCycloneInc PSA. Just a reminder. Check your batteries. Hopefully in the future, console manufacturers and software, and just other electronic hardware manufacturers will help with the problem, and maybe we can stop using these conflict minerals to make these systems. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can stop making systems in factories in China where people commit suicide because they have, I don't want to be a downer, but
I won't be a downer.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't want to sound like Kwame, but our planet is in peril. Gaia, the spirit of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we kind of getting there. So, hey, let's stop making all of these things out of useless garbage that's going to be in a landfill. You know what I mean?
Man, I just saw something that I think you will like.
What's that?
Because you like Cyclops.
Oh, man. Is there a new Cyclops figure?
There's a new pop.
Does he light up?
No, but...
God. Is it the black one? The black and red?
Oh, it's the old school X-Men 80th. It's an 80th Cyclops line. It's an X-Men 80th anniversary.
It's the which one? The X
the blue and yellow suit with the
the hair out, the Jim Lee?
No, without the hair. It's the full suit.
With the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that's the giant size? The one, that one?
Yeah.
The Buccaneer Spider-Man with those boots.
I sent the link, but I sent another picture back. So.
Well, I'll take that one. Macho Man jumping on. What's he saying? My shampoo, the shampoo bottle when I'm showering, my pinky to. We all been there.
Yeah.
We all been there. Drop the shampoo in the shower.
Like, I'm looking at it. They have a beast in that same suit too.
Oh, really? Oh, wait. So that's like the
60s.
Is it the X Factor suits? No, right?
No, it's original X-Men.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. The one with the yellow smock on or whatever they had. I know exactly what you mean. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. You mean like the literal first Cyclops? Yeah. I'm standing here trying to guess.
I would like the last X-Men suit, the X Red X.
I like that one. Yeah,
I like that costume a lot. A lot of people didn't like it. I like that costume.
That's just because they didn't like Cyclops. They was hating.
I always like Cyclops.
Wow. And apparently there's only one figure. I'm looking at related products. There's only
they have a Jim Lee Cyclops.
No, the red one.
Oh, okay.
The red and black one. I'll see down here.
It's like a Marvel Legend, yeah.
So
they did a Marvel Legend, and it's not that expensive to get either.
Yeah.
But it was part of an old Marvel Legends series. You could probably get on eBay for like $20-$30.
Okay. All right. You know what?
And it was actually a nice figure too. Like I honestly, I passed it in stores so many times, and I should have picked it up.
It's a really, really good
But
outfit.
I would have probably sold it because I'm not really collecting Marvel Legends now.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Gotcha.
talking about that,
Mm-hmm.
recently Forbidden Planet just like released a whole bunch of old school X-Men and Marvel superhero figures. Like
From wherever.
they probably had it in storage from the early '90s, 2000 era.
What?
They have a shit ton, like all displayed. So definitely, if you're around the area of Forbidden Planet, check it out if you want some nostalgic figures because yeah, they have a lot of the old school figures in there.
Okay.
Oh wow, he goes for $60. That
The
Cyclops.
Cyclops. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, it was a Toys R Us exclusive.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
Yeah,
figured.
but that was a dope one. I
And it
do
does look
like that.
really, really good.
I'm mad that I passed that up in stores so many times and I never picked it up. And it made Jubilee. Like it comes with like the left arm of Jubilee.
Excuse me? They made regular size figures? I didn't know that.
It's Giants. They did regular characters there.
Wow, that's
So
pretty cool.
that series made Jubilee.
How many figures of Jubilee are there in existence? It's probably gotta be very few. For being such
Five,
a fan favorite, 5 Jubilee
I
figures?
think five. Because I know
There's
there
like
was a Generation X one too.
there's like 15 Cyclopses on this page and people hate him. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, he's the leader, but I'm just saying. It's just like people can't stand Cyclops, and he got like minimum 20 figures.
Without counting the Japanese ones,
Mm-hmm.
I won't count those. She has one, two, the
The
Generation X.
real long pause.
She has about
Damn it.
five. About five.
Ew.
I think she has about five.
Wow. And I have
Because
zero.
I know for a fact Generation X one had one.
Yeah, my cousin has that. Like literally has the Generation X figures. He has I think he had the whole set.
They had a Marvel Universe one. They
He
had
even
the
had
old
skin
school Jim Lee. They had the old school X-Men looking one,
with the yellow coat.
and that was a Marvel Legend figure.
Okay.
I don't think did she have one back in the day?
The old school, like for
Yeah,
the
I
90s.
think
I
she
think she
had
had
one.
one.
I
Yeah,
think she
she
had
had
one
one.
back then too. Which I don't remember how it looked because I
I
never
don't
got
think it
it.
was very good. I don't think it was very
And then
memorable.
she had a no. She okay six. She has six figures. She had one in the random X-Men toy line that
Hmm.
she was in all red.
Really?
She's
Okay.
like red and black. And then yeah, like, I don't think she has a lot though.
Mm-mm.
There's a lot of characters that don't have a lot
Shame.
of things.
For shame.
Like
I know.
talk about
You know,
Deadpool. Deadpool had two until he blew up, and now he
I
has such a
remember. And that second one was so hard to find.
one with the mask.
The one with the mask where you can
Yeah,
see
I
the
have that.
hamburger head.
I have that.
Yeah. I had a chance to get it for a decent price, but I was like, it was either that or another figure.
I got that for $3.
Ah, okay. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff. I remember because I got the original when it was in stores for like $5.99, but
I
I've
had the
never
original.
saw. I mean, $4.99. I remember the original Toys R Us pricing, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, that one. I remember when it came out too, because I used to, look at the back of the box, and so whenever a new line would show up, I knew what was in it already. Never saw that one in Toys R Us. People got him. They got. Is he out? Got him. Gone. And I didn't go to comic stores like that. Like when I was in like, what was that? That was like junior high. That wasn't. That was an old school Toy Biz line. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if Jubilee actually had one. No, the only one, the original X-Men one she had was part of Generation X.
Part of the Generation X line. Okay.
She didn't have a cartoon version.
She didn't have a Toy Biz one, like original Toy Biz,
No,
old school
Dazzler
package.
had it. It was Dazzler. It wasn't
Oh yeah, my
Jubilee.
cousin had Dazzler as well. He had Dazzler.
It wasn't Jubilee. So Jubilee didn't come out until later on.
Do
She
you
came
think?
out with,
Do you think somebody had a grudge?
I don't know.
You think somebody
She,
had a grudge because they like Dazzler more, but they put Jubilee in the cartoon?
I think originally Dazzler was supposed to be part of the cartoon, part of that whole remember the one with the Australian Wolverine? So that was supposed to be the original cartoon. So the first toy line was based on those X-Men and
Yes, I
Dazzler
did.
was the X-Men.
I need to get some of that voice acting, because yeah, people need to hear that. Good eye, mate.
So every voice actor would be praised after that.
Oh, it's real bad. It's real bad.
Remember Mark Hamill talked
What was
over?
it called? Pride of the X-Men? Real bad.
Right. Remember Mark Hamill talked Wolverine
And which
in that
series?
X-Men game?
Which game was
There was
that?
a Wolverine game on the PS2.
PS2? Oh yes. Who Jobstar had that, and we played the hell out of that. It
Good
wasn't
game.
good.
It was
It
alright
was
game.
no. I'm gonna tell you specifically what wasn't good. Do you remember the second level when you had to be in the snow at the Weapon X facility? I think it
Yeah.
was. Yo, that shit was so bad. Like the level design for that level was bad, dude. Like go back and play that. Me and Julio got stuck
I think the
because it was
only
just
I think the one good Wolverine game was the X-Men Origins Wolverine. That was a really good game.
he had that was like he's one of those superheroes that unfortunately his solo games weren't good, but
I think
that
that was his
that
best one.
that was yeah. I played the demo for that. It was real fun.
That one was one of his best ones. That was when he took battle damage and he healed.
Yeah, down
So
to the bone. Yep,
his wife beater healed.
yep.
His tank
Yes,
top
it
healed.
did. Yes, it did. And you got to beat up Leah Shriver. Yes, yes. Yeah.
And
No, that was.
he got to beat up the Deadpool, the so-called Deadpool.
Oh, God. That is an abomination that somebody, whenever anybody at Fox ever says, "Hey man, we made X-Men," they need to hold that up above their heads and then
Deadpool
turn
does
it
it all.
sideways and beat them with it. Because
Deadpool did it. Deadpool did it in his movie, in Deadpool 2. In the end credits, he killed him.
no, I don't know that. I'm just talking about real life. They should just, if anybody ever decides to type that in the keyboard, you remember the X-Men movies? Somebody needs to hold that picture up.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
That's something Ryan Reynolds does all the time. When they try to take praise on we do such good X-Men movies, he shows the damn Deadpool.
Look what you did to me. That's what he just said. Look what you did to me.
And then in the Deadpool 2, he killed him.
Oh man.
He shot him in the head like multiple times.
I bet that makes somebody at Marvel just cry. It's like, how did you do this?
I loved it. I loved when he shot him in the head.
I take that as a personal attack on Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens.
Did he have corroded feet?
Wasn't he barefoot?
He was barefoot.
Oh, so maybe.
That's something that he can't draw.
Exactly. Yeah, he just did.
Oh, Rob Liefeld, you suck.
Listen, hey, look, he created characters that we still care about.
It just took us to a better artist to really establish them. Like one of my favorite, honestly, to this day, my favorite artist in Deadpool was Alvin Lee.
And that was the era when like he had like Al and stuff with him.
Yeah, when he had when he created Agent X.
And I remember buying them. Those were when they were sometimes a part of the 99-cent that line that would pop up, and he did a lot of art for that line.
Alvin Lee had amazing art. I like those, and I like the Ed McGuinness. Ed McGuinness, you're probably talking about.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ed McGuinness did the first run. It did the 96 for the beginning, first 15 issues. I think he did.
No, not that. See, okay, I know there's a break between those two because which artist is the one where he fought against the guy with the Band-Aid on his nose? That was a major villain.
T-Ray. That was Ed McGuinness.
That was okay. So that's the one I got into. Okay.
Yeah, that was Ed McGuinness. Yes. And Ed McGuinness did the art for a while, and then it went to someone else that actually used to draw for Spawn. Okay. So it had a lot of Spawnish art to it, and then I think they changed artists quite a few times. Like I don't know the exact times, but they changed it quite a few times. And then Alvin Lee closed out that whole that Deadpool run with his last bunch of issues. That's when they started adding Taskmaster in it, and
that's when they changed his design, right?
Yeah,
with the energy shield and shit.
Yeah. And with the hoodie. Yeah. Alvin Lee was part of my favorite, and if you don't know who Alvin Lee is now, look at every single Street Fighter game. That's his designs.
Yeah. What was it? Post what?
Post actually, they started it with that remake of Super Street Fighter 2.
remix.
That's where it started. And then he did the story. He did the comic book.
Was he also the guy that did the box art for the controllers? Remember when they did those really special controllers for PS2, Xbox?
That's all Alvin Lee's art.
Gotcha. Damn,
so every single design going into Street Fighter 4, that was his designs.
See, I was collecting those. I have 4.
Yeah.
Of those controllers.
They go for a lot of money now. They go for
I know. Yeah, I know that. I never used them because I remember Omari. No shout out. You don't get
Yeah.
a shout out, Omari. But I remember a friend of the RedCycloneInc, Omari. He back in the day, he brought the Chun-Li controller, and
I have.
I used it, and I was like, I can't, because
Yeah.
I had already become accustomed to PS2's bad layout for fighting
Yeah.
games, and so when somebody brought a better controller, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Also, the D-pad wasn't good. I didn't like D-pad.
It wasn't the greatest. You
No,
want to know what it was good for though?
stop.
It was actually good for like the like Xbox 360 arcade games.
I figure, because I had the right button layout.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what? Shout outs to, because I was playing it on my 360 this 2 days ago. The Streets of Rage collection, because I was just going through them to see what was the difference. I have Streets of Rage 2 by itself, and I have I think it's not say, is it Sega Ages collection, where it came with 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
and they put a lot of work into that they didn't have to. It had like a bunch of like really unique achievements. It had a bunch of like unlockable stuff. It had a jukebox in it, but it all reminded me of that Xbox arcade era. It was just like, oh man, there was a lot of cool stuff in there.
My only reason why I have a 360 still,
It's for what?
the Turtles
Those
and Simpsons and X-Men arcade games that were on the Xbox 360 arcade.
still to this day haven't been brought up.
No.
How?
Well,
Wow.
the One Up Arcade is doing the Nintendo arcade system, which I'm definitely buying.
Got you.
I will drive to wherever the fuck I have to go to find it, and I will be
I
buying
don't
that.
think you have to go too.
Yeah,
Are
GameStop's
those are
GameStop's
those
in the
the
state
ones?
don't hold it.
Are those the ones that you can get at a Walmart?
Yeah, but WalMarts are far from city. They're in Jersey. They're not even
Yeah,
in upstate New York no more because the one in Westbury, no, not Westbury, Westchester is not
mm,
there no more.
okay, gotcha.
So I will be hunting for that Nintendo arcade system, and I will be buying it. I'm very close to think about buying also the Marvel superhero one, but right now that Nintendo one is a must.
You should get that giant one they had at they had at E3.
If it could fit in my house, yes, but I
Oh,
don't. That one up arcade could fit. I have a somewhere I will put it, and I know for a fact I will play it. And yeah, it's the four button controllers and everything like that. I need it. That's what I want. I need that arcade system.
yeah, it's
That's my childhood in a nutshell.
pretty dope. I do remember the first time I ever saw it, the original one. Do you remember Stop One?
Stop one, yeah.
Like the
It
old
was like
school
it
name
was like
for like like
grocery
the
store.
old bodegas. They used to just
Yeah,
all be under the brand of Stop One, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I first saw one. The full size cabinet. Like
My first one was a pizzeria on 6th Street and Avenue Day.
6th Street and Avenue D.
They had the four-player original Nintendo system, and they also had Wrestle Arcade, WrestleMania, the wrestling
Yeah,
one.
I know the one that had like the big sprites and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it had that, and it had Street Fighter 2.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, and speaking of arcades and stuff, last but not least, just want to bring this up because I've been watching their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to, and I might take a trip down there just to buy some because it's, again, they're fading really fast and the way that things are. Well, maybe not, because I think more and more stuff is going to become available through these smaller stores because people are going to start,
Yeah,
these new consoles that are out now are going to become old and people are going to be taking them and trading them in. Shout out to a video game store named Brooklyn
okay.
Video Games. Um, they've been doing recently, why I've been getting a lot of, like, why they've been on my radar is one of the streamer companies named Team Spooky. They usually do fighting game tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
One of the members of Team Spooky, Arturo, he's been doing in collaboration with this place. They've been doing King of Fighters 2002 fighting game tournaments, and it's been awesome. Like arcade tournaments.
oh, nice.
Yo, if you, just a small thing, if you don't know about South Americans and King of Fighters, it is like the thing where you lock you twist the two fingers together. They are tight like that. They
Yeah,
are inseparable. King of Fighters is like the consummate South American fighting game. Like
okay.
almost every country in South America has a small scene for King of Fighters. It's crazy. Like, and the loyalty, ridiculous. And it's just dope to see the locals, and you see if you hang out in Brooklyn, like if you have family in Brooklyn, you never know who you might see like there, because it's just like everyday people. It's not like the big fighting game tournaments where like it's always dudes from Japan and whatnot. It's like just neighborhood people.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see, like, if you bring it, they will come.
Nice.
Like, that's literally just a video game store that has a few cabinets.
Yeah.
And I guess it just went down. It was like, hey, you want to host? Sure. So now they're streaming KOF tournaments out of it. And it's so dope. And it's just, man, to be completely honest, that's my favorite King of Fighters game anyway.
Nice.
King of Fighters 2002. Because it has a huge roster. It has like a lot of not very broken things going on in there, but it has some broken stuff that looks cool when people get it right, but it's has a high ass ceiling of execution to do. It's got really, really good music. Really, really good music. Like, that's one of the things I always like shout out about a game. If it's got good music, yeah, KOF 2002 really does. But I like to see this type of collaboration. This is not some Dave and Buster. This is not some multi-million conglomerate. This is a local video game store, and they're streaming fighting game tournaments, and that's a cool thing. So if you can support, it is located, I just want to read out the location. It's Brooklyn Video Games, 6801 20th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. Zip code is 11204. Like, I'll put that up in the show notes and whatnot. But like, support them, man. Support them.
Nice. We like seeing those scenes
because it's like it reminds me of the same way there's local wrestling.
Yeah,
and like you don't really think about it.
Yeah,
you only think of the big promotions. You think about it like, oh man, I want to go to a show. I want to, but on the same level, think about, oh man, I want to go to a tournament. But damn it, I don't feel like going to this damn convention center.
Yeah.
Or I don't feel like going to this hotel, because usually they need a big room to host a video game tournament. And it's just like, it's just a few cabinets and like maybe 20-30 people.
I remember back in the day, Chinatown Fair used to do them a lot too.
This is true.
There's one I know close by.
Little known thing, but very known in the community. You might have seen this guy, the guy who streams, Arturo Sanchez, because he was a local back then.
Yeah. Also, like, I remember 8-Bit and Up used to do a lot of tournaments and stuff too.
Do you know if they're still around?
Yeah, they're still around. They're on 3rd and 1st Avenue, but I don't think they do tournaments like they used to. But I know they do. They used to do a lot of Street Fighter tournaments there.
Cool beans.
So yeah, any place that gather people and play video games is always great to really promote and stuff. Again, that's the reason why a lot of us play video games, because what we did with our friends was play video games.
Mm-hmm. It builds a sense of community and keeps people happy, because a lot of stuff to not be happy about.
Yep.
So take that in consideration.
Yeah, we did play some Samurai Showdown. When Jinkies came to watch Spider-Man with me, we played some Samurai Showdown, and he was really digging the game because, again, it's a really fun game. It's a different kind of fighting game because it's very patient. A lot of patience in that fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
If you butt mash, you will get caught.
Yes,
you will get
potentially cut in half.
Yes, I cut it in half like 4 times.
He didn't learn his lesson.
This guy randomly. This is a guy in the game that has like 8 swords.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why? Like, why you carry so many swords?
I'll tell you one thing about him. Yeah. No, he has 7. No, I think it's 6 he carries.
7.
He has 6 on him and 1 he uses, but he has an 8th one. Have you seen what the 8th one looks like?
No.
Oh boy. Yeah, just look that up online. Look up on. No, it is a 7th sword. It is a 7th sword. Because there's like a Japanese thing, 7 samurai, 7 swords. There's a whole bunch of things that goes to. Apparently, they're all named for a woman in his life or something like that. Then there's a thing called a rose mechanic associated with him. But yeah, watch him. See what happens when he unlocks the 7th sword. It's real bad. It's real bad. Basically, you instantly win. You got anything else, Mark?
That's about it. I'm still playing Judgment. I'm still getting through the game. I really love it. It's a really fun game. Definitely everyone should check it out. It's a unique game, and I've been digging it.
Good stuff. Have there been any more ridiculous quests that you stick
Ass
out in your
catch.
mind? Oh my god.
Ass catch him.
Ooh, you're right. Yes, ass catching. Ass
I,
catch.
so things that started realizing is the things that you mentioned before about the side stories and the English dub. It's kind of silly
Mhm.
because all you hear is like, yeah, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, okay, and it's kind of annoying. But other than that, it's pretty fun. It's a good game. The story is getting really interesting with figuring out the murderer and things like that. A lot of the side stories are interesting, but they kind of require the same must repeat kind of things. But other than that, it's been a really fun game. I'll probably get back on it later today.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And since we're closing out the show, where can they catch that playthrough?
Twitch TV, Mark with the mic.
Where else you at, Mark?
YouTube, Mark with the mic. Instagram, Tumblr, uh,
Where you at?
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
We got Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram.
And then Facebook, the Wrestling Babble page, and the RedCycloneInc page, which
So
we
yes, sir.
post a
We
lot.
just did a wrestling battle. Check that out.
Yep, yep.
And you can catch the Red Cyclone Inc. on everything Red Cyclone Inc. on the internet. We're on social media, on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook page, Red Cyclone Inc. We also have Tumblr and SoundCloud, and also the YouTube where you can check out this video and the other playthroughs I put up. Yeah, go play Judgment. It's real
Yes,
good. And go join a local tournament. Go
yes,
support your local fighting games team. It's
yep,
good
yep.
to see like they have not disappeared completely
Yeah.
in favor of esports. You know what I mean?
I actually think that it's getting more popular because of esports. Like a lot of people are trying to find those
Is it
things.
like the indies with wrestling?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, because people like going in because that's how you get practice when you play other people, not just the computer.
This is true. This is true. You can be an online warrior for
Yeah,
only so long.
yeah. Because then you got to deal with the shit talking, and when you do it in person, a lot of people take it personally.
Yeah, it's not
That's some,
it's
that you know
not
what? That's something that I feel like nowadays in the esports they have to kind of have a control on, because now some of the games are getting really personal,
yeah,
and
well,
like
you know what?
if you're talking shit and your buddies are talking shit and it's respectful, that's fine. But if you're talking shit and trying to really get at the person and stuff like that, that's what's causing the violence in these damn things, and you guys gotta stop that shit.
Yeah. Like the cool thing about that specific thing was this past CEO, there was an incident that there's a lot of videos going around about
Yeah,
it. And then
yeah,
you know what? They knew how to handle it. They
yeah,
talked their shit and they kept their hands to themselves.
yeah,
And they kept it in the game, they kept it in the realm of we're on a stage, I'm gonna pop off when I win because you was talking shit.
yeah.
And they kept it at that. So they for the standard stuff, they know on the big streams and whatnot, they know. But yeah, people do be getting a little hurt.
Yeah, because there's again like there's been a lot of like I don't want to see the community die because of stupid shit like that. So this is
Hmm.
something that you, as players, has to be able to suck up or be able to handle it and give a dish back. But if you're gonna talk shit, make sure you're willing to be prepared to take it back.
Yes.
Simple as that.
No bullying. It's
Yeah.
all in fun. So
Yeah,
remember that.
exactly. Like you could have your character. You could be a dick as a character and do as a promo and stuff like that. But in the end of the day, like you cool, shake hands, and that's it.
Hmm.
Move on.
Yes.
But
Keep it in the
if you're
ring.
just gonna be a dick and just talk, and then you're going to talk more on Twitter about this person and shit like that, then you're taking it personal, and you should not be part of it.
Yeah. Cut that out.
Yep.
So
Because
remember.
I personally don't want to see the genre die, and that stupidity shit is what will make a genre die.
It makes you look bad in the eyes of like the greater public too, because you put that out there, the people see it, they be like, well, I don't want my kids,
Yeah.
or I don't want anybody to be associated with that shit.
As easy as to get be really good and get follow ups and shit like that is as easy as someone will stop following you because of stupid shit you do.
Yeah, basically.
So
That's how it is.
yep.
So keep it
Other
on
than
the
that,
up and up, people.
yes, yes. Have fun. Just talk shit and have fun. Like I talk shit and have fun. Even if I'm losing, I talk shit.
You can't get me on the ropes
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I'm already talking
I
shit.
suck. Exactly.
Exactly.
You know, and also check out Up Up Down Down. Xavier Woods is playing.
Oh, there was a title change.
Yeah,
I saw the title change.
with
Check
brothers.
that out. Check
That
that.
was really
Check.
good. And he's playing the Perfect Daddy or some shit.
Is it
It's
Dream
just
Daddy?
Dream Daddy, yeah, and it's really funny.
Mm.
It's a pretty funny.
And the man, she got eyes for that belt.
Yeah, she wants to be Becky Two Belts again.
I wonder what she's gonna play. Cause it's challenger's choice. I wonder what she plays.
Um,
She
I don't
probably
know.
plays. She's probably gonna make them play Mario Brothers,
Well,
the little
cha-
bonus game.
yeah, well, Challenger's choice is only on the 5th defense, so the person that has to hold the title for 5 defenses is going to get the Challenger's choice.
No. When you challenge them, you can pick the game you challenge
No,
them in.
they
Because
don't.
was it Jay that he demolished Kofi in Tetris?
No, but that was his fifth title defense.
So so every other game they have to agree on a game.
No, every game is random except for the 5th one. The 5th one is
Oh,
Challenger
okay.
choice. So if they defended the title 5 times, that 5th one is going to be the hard one, and that's the one that the challenger could pick a game.
Oh, so it's random. Oh, she's probably gonna wait.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna wait. That was messed up though. How they did Kofi dirty.
You know who they fuck over more? Breeze.
Really?
Yeah, they won't let Breeze win nothing.
Oh, damn. He gotta wait. He's gotta play smart, man. He's gotta wait.
Yeah, wait till he can challenge, and then,
Exactly.
but I think Xavier will screw him over and not let him challenge.
Oh, damn. Has Buddy Murphy challenged for the belt?
Yeah, I think it was when Gallagher had it.
Okay, gotcha.
And he almost won it too. He was very close.
I like Swagger the Christie as champ.
Me too. I miss his poems after his victory.
Yep.
I think he's gonna get it back if Juicy goes into if Oos goes it's
one is Juicy and one is Oos. Juicy just lost.
Oos has the belt now. That's Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy has it. I think if he goes to 5 and Gallagher, I think Gallagher's gonna go with UFC and he's gonna destroy everybody.
Oh shit! There we go. Yep. He's sleeper cell waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So thank you for joining us. Make sure you come back next time. You know where we at.
Yeah. Peace out.
Don't forget the sandwiches and the juices.
And check out our past cast. Check out the Morphin cast. We have Kaku Ranger.
Oh my god. Yeah, like I remember you telling me about the theme song. Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah.
Really good. And the ending. I like the end. I don't know which one I like
more. I love the ending. I think the ending of that one is equivalent of the Dire Ranger theme song.
It's really good.
Really fucking good.
All right, y'all. Make sure you check those out on the Mike with the Mike SoundCloud page. Do it. Peace.
Laters.